Welcome back to the Realm Report. Honestly, not a lot happened this month. There's been nothing out of the ordinary, and it's been pretty uneventful. So, see you in Alright, so maybe a few minor things happened. First, you may have noticed that we're not currently in the old world. This Realm Report is being broadcast directly from my new studio in the jungle, where we've been since October 19th. If you missed my announcement on the topic, basically what happened was that the Realm crashed on the 17th and required a manual rollback. While attempting to download a backup, I received an error message that the old world had exceeded the 4 GB download limit for Realms. If you weren't aware, there's a 5 GB world size limit currently in place with Realms. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, why wouldn't you be able to download a 4 GB world if the maximum world size you can have is 5 GB? Well, that's a logical question, and it's one I asked Mojang myself, but they directed me to an issue that was completely different from what we were experiencing and were basically no help at all. So where is the disconnect? What exactly happened here? Well, I don't mean to alarm anybody, but I believe that due to his undeniable incompetence, Plague Doctor easily secured a job at Mojang. While there, he snuck into the Realm storage room, where he somehow changed the download limit on the old world from 5 GB to 4. After that, he located the issue I had submitted, and in typical Plague fashion, provided me with a completely nonsensical response. So with Plague Doctor Industries having infiltrated Mojang, Realms have become even less reliable than they already were, so the transition to a dedicated Bedrock server is currently underway, but I'll have more information on that at a later date. As you all know, everything that we do here in the jungle will be brought back with us to the old world, which means that this area is going to ultimately require its own mayor. But given the larger scope of the jungle, there have been some discussions that this time around we should do a co-mayorship. This means that we're looking for 2 people who are interested in taking on this role. So if you enjoy what we're doing with the old world and plan on sticking around, reach out to me and let me know if you'd be interested. And if you have any questions, you can always speak with the existing mayors as well. We're still relatively early on into the start of the jungle, and for the most part everyone has been focused on their bases, but we do have some more collaborative projects underway. For starters, I put out a poll about how we should handle shops in the jungle. The majority of players seem to agree that they should be placed along the railway line, so our first goal will be to get the railway built, and we definitely need people to help out with that. So if you have the availability to assist or are able to donate materials, the sooner we'll be able to get this done. I've created a special channel specifically around this project, so head over there if you want to get involved. One person who's really been making the most of his time in the jungle is Upton. As many of you know, Upton is a bit of a survival expert. He's back with us today to offer some tips on how you can survive in the jungle. Okay, never mind. Now it's time for a segment I'm calling Stuff That Is Irrelevant to You Right Now. From September to mid-October, my main project was the construction of the auction house, now located near the exchange. This probably would have taken the average Minecrafter like 3 days to build, but I tend to build at a speed I'd equate to that of a dying snail, but it got done, and just in time for us to end up in the jungle. But I still suggest checking out the auction house video I uploaded for a complete breakdown of how auctions will work when we're back in the old world. Unworthy Chicken is now the newest groundskeeper for the shopping district, replacing POS Princess, who has been the island mayor since July. He currently has no grounds to keep, but when we get back to the old world, he'll be working alongside Plague Doctor 487, so wish him luck with that. Last month I spoke about the planned amusement park project. While that's obviously on hold right now, before all of this happened, I was able to create a branching route from the Amethyst path from the Nether Hub. It's lined with green stained glass to make it easily identifiable and will take you directly to the park. It's not the only change I made to the ice paths though. Now when you reach the turn you'd usually take to the Nether Colony, which now features red stained glass, there's a new path to the right with blue stained glass. Originally this path was reserved for the 1.18 update, but I've decided to make this the path to the jungle when it's eventually brought into the old world. since the overworld chunks haven't been generated in that area, it also means that the jungle will be entirely surrounded by new terrain generation. One benefit of this time away from the old world is that it's given me the opportunity to fix certain issues we've been experiencing over the past year. For example, I was finally able to resolve the syncing issue between the Central Nether Hub portal and the Exchange. It now no longer teleports you in front of the building for the first time since January. Another big change is a complete reset of the end, which is a topic that's been discussed for some time now, but I was holding off to see what the 1.19 update would actually be. This also means that the Ender Dragon has been restored. A while back, Camper reported that something was preventing the Ender Dragon from respawning, so that's now been corrected. And that's it for stuff that is irrelevant to you right now. With the upcoming transition to a server, I know that many people have questions about what else may change with the old world moving forward. One question I wanted to address was brought up by Peculiar. He was basically asking if the name of the Realm report will change after we move to a server. No. The next event for the Realm is going to be the Willow Classic 3, and will be taking place on Halloween with a Halloween theme. This was originally planned to happen in the old world, and Willow invested a lot of time into making preparations for it. After the switch to the jungle, I brought the Coliseum into this temporary world and placed it somewhere in the ocean. We've made some changes to the format of the event this time around, and it's now a double elimination tournament as opposed to a single elimination, which will extend the matches and give people an additional opportunity to win. After the tournament, we'll be holding the first ever costume contest. Bring your best horror or comedy themed skin. You don't need to participate in the tournament to be part of the contest. The prizes for best skin include an elytra, a trophy in the form of a wither skull, and also a shulker box. Finally, I'd like to leave you with a word of advice, and this goes to everyone currently residing in the jungle. Do not, and I mean do not, under any circumstances, allow POS Princess to visit your base. It will not end well for you. I can promise you that. Watch out for that creeper. Watch out for that creeper.
Fuck. Makes so
Fell
many
from
doors.
a high place.
Me?
Yeah, what the heck are you doing?
After the creeper blew up, it knocked me down into my little mine shaft there, and now all the zombies have my stuff again.
Holy shit!
What?
Well, at least it killed the trident guy. What the shit?
What?
The
Where you at?
trident guy, he's back!
Where are you?
Oh, you know, just f***ing up White's life.
Where's the training guy?
He got him.
Alright, I'm never come here again.
Here,
Nothing but a nightmare.
here.
Alright. Thank you.
Oh, wait.
Nope.
There you go.
Alright, now
That's
please leave.
something.
Please leave.
I was just trying to help.
Alright, so helping is come over here, have a creeper blow up half my base. That it also, the knockback makes me fall down a massive hole where a swarm of zombies steal all my stuff. That was very helpful.
I was just trying to bring you some torches.
And that wraps things up for this edition of the Realm Report. See you in the Realm.
Oh my god. That is not happening. This is not happening. This is not happening. OMG. Like, what just happened?